Good morning. Excellent. Sorry, a couple of people in. Good morning and welcome to today's Wuxing Long Pai Taijiquan class. My name is Jeff Cote, and I am the Occidental Taoist. Today we're going to just kind of go through our usual warm-up. We've been working on the swimming dragon section of our Foremost Dragon long form. And I believe we had gotten up to the elbowing left and right, and we've begun to examine that sequence. We'll go from there. We'll kind of review up to there and continue to break what we've been working on, and start looking at various transitions, where we're putting expansion, where we're putting receptivity, what level of weight we're putting on each leg, the transition of the foot movements, and when. Timing is a lot of it. The swimming dragon section has a lot of things going on simultaneously. That's part of what makes it a little bit more challenging than the rest of the form. This is why it's the last part of the form. Is up until now, we've been kind of doing one thing at a time. You might have two arms moving together, or they might split, but you're usually not doing that while unweighting one leg and kicking and doing that. We've added in a leg, we've added in oftentimes things seem to be moving in different ways that are not always obviously connected. And that's part of what makes it, in my opinion, the advanced part of the form, is that learning how to make a lot of complexity into the simplicity of still one thing is the real challenge. I mean, that's sort of like the development of the practitioner with Tai Chi, learning how to include more and still maintain that sort of centralized, calm state. I feel like a form that does that, that does ultimately what Tai Chi is seeking to do, which is learning how to unify opposites and all complexity into a unified whole, because that's how we create harmony. Okay. All right. So let's start off, our usual structure, working with that as a good baseline. I'm hoping my audio is better. I moved back inside. It's a little cooler today anyways. But aside from that, I've had enough reports that audio is an issue when I'm outside, no matter what I'm using for headsets. And when I'm inside, utilizing even just the mic from the Chromebook, it seems to be a lot better. So I'm going to try to do most of these live streams for the YouTube, at least, with the Chromebook, because it just seems to have a better audio for everybody. I hope everybody's hearing me okay. I'll check it afterwards to see how I hear it. It's hard to get feedback from these. I mean, I think if somebody put a comment, I could probably see it. But anyways, and if this format continues to prove questionable because of either the audio or something, then we might look at going to a Zoom class or something. I kind of looked into that. I've had problems with Zoom more so than with live streaming, so in terms of connection. So who knows what the correct solution is in these times. But your feet really rooted to the ground. I like to spread my feet out, really let my toes open up, reach out with them, feel the triangles of the foot, but also play around with that, the ankle, heel, ball of the foot relationship, just forward and back. From the side, you can see it right. Kind of go forward and back and just play around, and then left and right, feeling where the center of one is, where the center of the other is, how they relate to that lower dantian in the center. Gently draw up on the perineum, get that Hui Yin Jing draw, Tizengong. And from there, I Let my awareness go right up my center line to the Bai Hui point at the top of the head. I relax my torso around the center line. And I'm really just shooting for a hollow column here. I'll check the relationship between the lower dantian and middle dantian by just moving back and forth and feeling what's inside here, what changes as I move, as I try to move. Where there's the tensions, and then forward and back, maybe a little dragon spine, just getting some initial loosening to the body. Move the shoulders, feel the shoulder blade and its relationship to the rib cage and the collarbone. Just really taking my time to examine. Feel from the collarbone and the shoulder blade up through this trapezius and up into the neck. Down the arms, all the way to the hands, wrists, and fingers. Just giving everything a little bit of movement first, just to feel where it's at. If I notice things that I don't like, I might stretch them out. Like for example, this pinky, I got a little bit of tension. I feel like I want to traction it a little bit. And so I'm doing that with all of my fingers, just tractioning them a little, because, if I'm going to do one, might as well do all of them. This will ensure that chi is flowing freely all the way to my fingertips. Shake out the hands. Return back to that center line and that relationship through the hip. I mean, if you just think of it in very simple geometry, you've got this line down into this bowl shape where the weight kind of gathers and then gets redistributed through the ball and socket joints, which actually exit the hip at a slight angle to the greater trochanter and then down. Okay, so it's, this comes together in the middle, supporting the column. And I'm just trying to align the physical structures with that sort of imaginal shape. As I do that, I begin to notice everything around the hips. What's going on here? What forces are twisting out or in, pushing one way or another? And I just want to equalize them. So then I just kind of shake the hips again a little bit, just back and forth, just feeling what I'm doing a little bit more detailed now around the ball and socket joints. And from there, how that all connects into the core and provides the support, that's transition from the leg into the torso. I want to master this transition. Make this very free so I can sink and rise easily. So I'll go up and down a few times, just checking this out. I even put my thumbs right in that inguinal fold here, right on the muscle where the iliopsoas comes through the hip. And I'm just going to gently press because I actually want that to soften and lengthen. So you can use your thumbs here and just kind of massage that large muscle into letting go a little bit more and right down into the legs. So you get more transition. And everything feels pretty good and ready now. Now, in addition to this central channel, I'm going to pay attention to these right and left channels and how the central chi of the heart is connected at a little same place where the sort of arms and shoulders come in. And relate to these right and left channels and to the central channel through the middle dantian. And there's sort of this, connection here. It's not really a box because it's only a box two-dimensionally. But three-dimensionally, it's this sort of multiple orbits. And we've got this microcosmic orbit. We also have this kind of a connection here, where the right and left channels kind of connect to this lower and middle dantians. And if you get that, you can see a common geometry here when we go lower dantian to the ground in that relationship, the ability to get that yin. We've got interchange through here, both this way and this way, right? And then the arms are an extension of these right and left channels. And when we're in this position, we're sort of mirroring that. So you've got this receptivity from the yang, receptivity from the yin, and this interchange between the two in here. Okay. Keep that in mind as we go through this. Try to picture that in your mind's eye as we go through the bouncing expansions. Okay. Nice and slow first. And what I want you to do is I actually want you to expand out and start off out here today. We're going to do something a little bit different. Keeping that image in mind, I want you to just, as you inhale, draw the chi both from the ground and from the air, as though just imagine you're breathing through your limbs right into the middle and lower dantians, particularly letting it gather to the lower dantian, and then expand back out from the lower dantian out. Through the legs here, it just expands from the center out. As it does so, it activates these structures, these energetic structures, central channel, right and left channels, all the meridians. And then we're going to reverse. Just exhale first. And now we inhale and expand. And it's this sort of outreaching to receive. And then we're going to bounce. Actually, let's just bounce first before counter swinging. Now here, when I bounce, one of the things I'm trying to remember is that my awareness doesn't just move, on the surface of things. My awareness can move deep through my body. And I'm trying to move with intent everything inside and outside, this sort of field of my attention and awareness. And I'm trying to make it interact with the physicality of things. So I've got to connect it to the physicality with it. But not just with the arms. It's also with this the right and left channels and the central channel, the whole chi of the body is just it's intending downward and out and then back up. And we go into counter swing. Column swing. and counter column swing. And nice and relaxed. And now we did that for a while. That is a really great practice to really sink into and just keep working, just driving more from inside, really trying to connect with how to move in these ways from the inside out rather than from the muscles outside in. All right, there is a component of, everything's going to be activated. You're going to be using your muscles, but we really want to feel like it comes from the inside outward when we act, rather than things contracting and separated. Okay. All right. Start with just the hands down here. We're not going to do much standing because we went really long in that counter swing series, which can act to accomplish some of the same things that standing postures can work with. But we want to just play with all of it. Today we'll do a little less standing because of that. And I'm just standing with my arms down. I'm really working when I bring my arms down like this and my fingers lightly touching. I'm kind of encompassing the dantian in the same way that my pelvis does, and I'm letting my hands kind of connect to that experience so that I can use the energy of the hands to help with opening things up. The intent. We were very good at sending intent and the energy of intent, and thus the movement of chi, not just in ourselves, but in the world around us with our hands. The hands are very good at acting on the outside energy because we interact with the outside energy all the time with them. When we direct them to the inner energy and to assist what we're doing internally, just with their energy, they can be very helpful. So just add the hands in. Imagine, try to feel that bowl shape of the pelvis, gently draw up on the perineum, that sort of jing draw, right? Gathering to the dantian, and let the hands help. And if you notice in unevenness and inconsistency, just let your hands kind of shape the energy as the other and smooth, almost like a potter would shape things. And because of the auto accident that I was in, I've got this, my hips have been changed, and they're not going to change back. I mean, not completely. And so I can always feel this dichotomy. And there's a tense, like this area on the left side tends to be drawn up tighter. So I'm going to take the intent from my center and my alignment, like this, and the energy moving down, connect it with my center and borrow it and use this left hand to help guide, as though I'm just guiding that feeling of elongation that I'm getting here down and into the space between the joints. So just gently draw, and I connect it to the yin and yang meridians, and I just feel like the inside connects to the outside. The center connects to the extremity more completely, just as though there's a flow of intent and action, and I release into it. Then, oftentimes, because the Ming Men in the low back tends to be a little deficient, people can feel that as a contracting point. Right? What I'll do is, with the Hui Yin gently drawn up, I'll turn the palms ever so slightly towards the back, and I'll run my intent to really smooth out that relationship between the Hui Yin through the tailbone up to the Ming Men. And then that around that whole pelvis, and actually kind of form the outer edge with my awareness and intention, that outer sphere of the Dantian itself. Just using my hands and my intent to help kind of shape my feeling awareness to this model. And then from this, I notice this whole left side is now like different from the right. So then I just kind of moving it. And it feels like it builds up a little bit here on this side from this hip. So I turn the palm out a little bit and just help to train that side. So turn it out and down, and then I return. And I might do that a few times. So you see how this starts to become its own Qigong, right? So, and I let it, I'm listening very deeply. And there's these little changes, like as something relaxes and releases, it wants to move a muscle. Don't fight that. Let your body move with it. You may discover a movement that really helps. And you just notice, as I did that, I can feel myself just relax and sink better into this. Like I've just opened up this relationship to the ground, to this left side a little bit, that was keeping me a little further unrooted, which is, relative compared to where I used to be. This is very. And then I open, and I'll play around with that side, and then put it in relationship to the other again, and go back. Till I feel like things are a little bit more equalized. Of course, once you start to work with one side, then you'll feel like, oh, now the other side is going to participate and show me all its things. So you just do the same thing there. Just slightly different action and movement, using the hand to help guide and release. Kind of, if I feel like I need shoring up and assisting, like I'm kind of coming back a little too far, energetically and physically, then I use the shape to help draw me into that sweet spot where it's kind of going through the middle. You can see how Wu Ji comes right out of this. But again, we're not going to do that today because it's already halfway through the class. As much as, for me, that's what I would love to do. Somebody has pulled up to our driveway, so my dog's freaking out. Hopefully that's not too loud. Finn! He's not going to stop. I'm going to go quiet him down just for a moment. I apologize. Hey. Hey. Lay down. Lay down. 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 Stop. Thank you. I appreciate the warning. Everything is safe. You don't need to keep barking. All right. Van, come on. Come in here. Lay down. Yep, lay down. Over here. Come on. Over here. Come on. I know. You're afraid of Matt. You're a good boy. All right, you just chill. All right, my apologies. He's such a good dog. Whenever he knows he can't control himself really well, and then he gets feeling bad. He just has to bark when somebody pulls up, because we're out in the country a little bit, and not many. It's a dead end dirt road, so not many people come up here. Whenever they come up here, it's to drop something on our porch or something, because it's a delivery, or it's the mailman, or whatever, or somebody's coming to get our trash. So they're taking things or bringing things. He's a dog. And he's a shepherding dog. He's designed to protect a herd. So good boy. Thank you for the warning. All right. We'll go into hands, wrists, and fingers. And then the other way. Elbows. And then the other way. Now, if you really deeply focused in all the counter swing actions, a lot of your loosening has already happened. And this is just sort of finishing it off. So arms up and then out, palms back, and then palms out. And then reverse. And then trunk twists from the center. And patting the waist. And hips. And then down each leg. We're going to do the patting of the legs now. flexion of the knees even before we get into the waist. And we'll do the waist rotation, circling the daimai. So again, the awareness just shoots around the sort of the outer perimeter of the upper quadrant of the dantian. And then the other way. And bringing the awareness from the waist down to the ball and socket joints of the hips, widen the feet. Get that sort of drawing open, just pulling the ball and socket joint open, gently compress, pull while you're receiving here and roll through. I'm just going to stay with this one side, just focusing here. Really lets me focus in on opening up this hip. And then the other way, we're going to draw this open here. And then we're going to do kind of both together, just a little. And the other way. And then turning in. And turning out. And shake out your legs. And lift the knees one more time. And small circles. And the other way. Deep bends. Shake out your legs. Ankle and hip. And the other way. Foot and ankle. The other way. Brushing the grass. The other way. Behind. The other way. Shake it out. Won't do all the leg out things today just for time purposes. The other way. Foot and ankle. Other way. Brush in the grass. The other way. And shake it out. Feet roughly shoulder width, maybe a little narrower, maybe a little wider, whatever you're more comfortable with. Elongate the spine, straighten the legs, lift the sacrum, fold the waist, and open up the body. Turn to one side. And then the other side. Two dragons circle the pond, so you reach behind and reach to the side. Just extending from the right and left channels through the whole body. And sweep to the other side. And back and forth. Back to the center. Bend your knees, get your hips underneath. Go as low as your body can, dropping the center line down without lifting the heels. Inguinal stretch here, this squat stance. Drop the tailbone under, open the hips. Gently, very gently, squeeze the back of the arms, the legs, very gently, and then shift your weight from side to side. Try to keep it towards the center and even towards maybe the ball of the foot, towards the bubbling well, like you're trying to take the opposite hip and extend its intent towards that bubbling well point. Hands down, inguinal stretch. Back and forth. And roll the spine. Dragon spine. Right and left channel articulation, spiral movement up and down. here. And then it's reverse. And then palms out and over the shoulder. Just to use your whole body as though you're doing dragon roll to pearl, but you're not kind of really focused on the pearl so much as you are the two sides just kind of rolling and coiling to create the movement. And 3 fudgings. All right, let's work on, let's do a quick review. All right, Finn, come on, you gotta move. You're in the way now. Thank you, buddy. Good boy. All right. We're gonna start with the, let me turn this a little bit, so I'm a little, because I got a little bit more room on that side. I'll turn this way like I usually have it. There we go. Just so I'm centered more here. We're going to start with the dragon stretches his wings. We'll flow all the way up to that elbowing left and right, right? Boom, and split. We worked on that. Grasp the arm on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll kind of review up to there, look at a few things in that move one more time, and then do a couple more moves. So we start, I'll start facing you first, and then we'll do it the other way too. Relax the shoulders down. And you know what? I got so many reports from everybody that they do better following if I'm facing the other way. So I'm just going to start facing the other way. That way we're all turning in the same direction. So dragon stretches his wings. Remember, we really sit down and let that pull the arms down, just as though we're dropping the energy. Then we shift, turn, press down, turn back. Energy kind of comes under, reminding us to get under this right and left channel as we drop the leg down. We drop the leg down, our arms roll back, the shoulder blades drop, and it reminds us to drop the energy here. Right? So we're here, and as we shift and turn, we drop that energy down the back, up the center line, and out. Then in and down. Here. And again, under, dropping down that sacrum and tailbone into that front leg and around. Out and over. Power of the immortal. Wave presents the fruit. So we press open, withdraw, and extend. Come back, cross the hands, step up, and white crane kicks with one leg. touches the water. Left, right. And green dragon stirs the waves. Out. Step. Oh, right, left. Split. Open. And grasp the arm. Turn that right foot in. I know we're doing the other side, right? Apparently I was going to get determined to have you guys do that anyways. Okay. That was to review up to where we were. I want to face you again. So we come down and we go left. Right and up. Open. Party morning. Go left. Wave presents the fruit. Back in and down. Oh, I missed this step. That's what happened. Sorry about that, guys. I got so focused on trying to get you to where we were. Come back. Up. And kick with one leg, kicking with the right leg. Right. And left. Green dragon stirs the waves. Boom. Remember, I'm just showing you the mechanics here. Shift back to that left. Back to the right. Okay. All right. Let's examine it from the elbowing left and right. So I'll go back to turn this way. Elbow left. So we've done green dragon stirs the waves. Right? We've done butterfly touches the water. Green dragon stirs the waves. Should be to this right side. And we've got here. We're sitting here. I think this is where we left off. So, or we kind of reviewed quickly. We're sitting in this right leg. Right hand is against the left fist. Weights to the right. And I'm simply going to receive into this side and expand through this side. Shifting and then turning right at the end. Point that elbow forward and then release it. The hands stay close. It's almost like I'm right here behind this left hand with my right or slightly under. Okay. Let me show you from this side so you can see it. So elbow right. No, sorry. Elbow left. See how it's just all one. That way, if they kind of deflect the elbow, you get the push. You know, let's say, just to get the understanding of it as a martial system. You don't need to, but it helps you understand where this whole column of the body is shifting over. This is very much like expand low, expand high from single whip, except it's expand in the middle, right? And then finish the expansion and rotate. So it's almost like this too. It's almost like that push or press, you know, when you press and push, how you get that squeeze into this space, expand and open. This is the same thing. We come here, we're squeezing into the space with this and the point of the elbow, but we're also going to expand at the end of that. And then draw all that energy and receive it into the right leg as you shift and turn and reach here. Now, on this side, when you expand, You're going to expand definitively high and low. Same energy. And then it's just going to rotate. As I shift and turn back, notice this right hand is doing a coiling movement, right? Our coiling movement. Coiling movement. This one is doing that negative coiling movement. Coiling movement, negative coiling movement. Now they're coming together like when split and open when they come back together. It's that same energy of coming back together, except instead of splitting, I'm going to imagine there's something right here that I'm going to run my hands right along. And as I do so, I'm going to press this hand forward and lever it. This energy is present. There should be a dynamic tension, but it's not strength. I'm not pulling. It's using my waist as though I was going to draw something this way. Just light, connect, come here, right? And this one is extend here. And then they slightly rotate with my body. There's this slight turn. It starts off, they're together. Let me face directly towards you so you can see it. So as I come here, I'm here, they come this way. They start to rotate to get into the turn and look back at the moon. So elbow, split, coil, press and rotate this left side. Left side. Can you see the foot? Does this as I rotate. So I'm here, split, open, on the heel. As I draw back with my center, extend with my center. And then I'll sit back and finish that movement. This front hand will, see how it turns over, palm down. And this one continues through. And imagine you got somebody's elbow right there, and you just whoop, and they're going to go right past you. All from wrap them around the arm. Okay, so that's that whole move, just so you get a sense of it. So we got that elbow, coil, sit back into that right leg, shift over, left leg, shift over to the right, boom, turn that back leg, turn back and look at the moon. Here, foot goes down. Can't see it, but here, foot goes down, sink straight down. Come up on the ball of this back foot. Look at them, press down, press out, sphere. You're trying to open up the back and look. And we shift, keep that weight down again, under. Always down the back to get that tailbone down. Under. Right. And as I shift back, this is drawing back, this is going forward until it passes over the arm, and then it comes across. And I'm going to pivot this whole side. But for now, let's just do here to there. Okay. One more time with the elbows. I think we're a little over time, but yeah, just a little. Okay, let's a couple minutes. I talked a little bit at the beginning to get us set up. So let's do that. Elbowing left and right. Elbow left, and expand. Elbow right. Turn, coil. See, turn that foot, shift back, turn. Out. And the next move would be here. Fairly threads the shuttle. That's what's coming. We'll look at that one on Thursday. Okay, in more detail. I know some of these are a little bit slow, particularly as we review what we got up to. Somehow when I turned around, I got turned around in my head. Sorry about that. That happens. You know, especially when all your frames of references change. You guys know in class when suddenly you change everything. That's why people like to stand in the same place all the time. You get kind of used to those frames of reference. It's good to shake them up though. So. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that was helpful. You could hear me fine. This section, this whole section is kind of hard to describe when I'm trying to teach it, simply because it's so many different things are going on simultaneously, and you can get lost in them. Remember that what you should never get lost in, and this is the reason why I think the right and left channels are so helpful, is the basic framework structure, always feeling like, okay, where's the right channel? Where's the left channel? Where's my central channel? How's their relationship? Am I disturbing the basic upright balance? The column of the body. Are the legs positioned and my actions positioned in such a way that it's supporting the structure, providing for good movement and good energy to the action, so that my intent is free to go, flow through me without unnecessary contraction anymore. And eventually, you start to realize that pretty much almost all major muscle group contraction is unnecessary, unless you start learning to use different structures, different tissues to do the primary support. Okay. So thank you guys very much for joining me. I really do hope this is helpful and not just confusing from the camera, changing angles. And I know sometimes if I get a little off somewhere, I get lost myself in it. And, we're all human. I try not to, but I try not to be human too lately with the way humans are acting. But I know you guys are all... you guys all know I'm joking about that. I hope you're all safe and that you can find a place to be peaceful, because I think our world is really going to need a lot of that. Anyways, thank you again. And I wish you all very many blessings of health and radiant health, in fact, and a peaceful, happy heart, and safety currently. And allow me just to say that while I'm concerned about the shape of things currently, our society has needed some change. It is unfortunate we're at the place where we are, where it's coming about the way it is. I keep hoping humans will become wiser and we will find ways to make change when necessary, to listen deeply to when change is required, so we can stop holding on to things and move on to something better. And, unfortunately, we don't always agree what that better looks like. May you guys have a very wonderful day. And thanks. Thanks for joining me. I think we're all, as you can tell, I'm a little shell-shocked. I know some people who are some spots. So my apologies if I'm a little off today. It can happen. Take care. Thank you.